Hey, good morning, people. Monday the 20th of July, 2020. What a frustrating morning this is starting out to be. They say what? Third time's a charm? Excuse me for a second. Boom! Get rid of that smoker's hack. Yeah, it's the third time I'm trying to do this video. I've been dealing with the slowest internet speed, or something wrong with my laptop, since the days of dial-up in the early 90s. Remember those frustrating moments? It took forever to load a picture. Alright, people. Now, do a couple of housekeeping things here. It's going to be part 3B, sign by the X, parentheses, countersign by the X. I hope that'll make sense when we're done with this. Very difficult to do, and my notes are all over the place, and there was no way in hell was I going to turn on the camera to this so you could see me struggling trying to put this thing together. Anyway, I'm hoping third time's a charm. Talked to a businessman from Bono who was at the kids' bar Friday night. You know who you are. We had an interesting conversation, as per usual. And you informed me that somebody said I'm getting too religious in my videos. Really? Well, you know what? I have heard that before. And actually, if you look at the numbers, on my last video, The Apple of My Eye, part 3, what was that? Part 3A? Yeah, 39 views. Sure seems you're right, but you know what? I'm just a humble, ever-flexible, most fluid watchman on the wall. And I'm just trying to tell these people, hey, your house is on fire. You might want to check it out, but then if you don't have to. So I am too religious, and I've said this before, none are more religious than atheists, God deniers, people that don't believe the Bible. The Bible's a fairy tale. They are extremely religious. What are they left with? Their evolution. You gotta have faith to believe in evolution. You think it's hard to believe in Moses parting the Red Sea? How about someone accounting for the fossil records on the Alps? How did they get up on the Alps? You know what they say? The mountains turned over. Yeah, now that takes faith, people. Communism was once defined as a battle for the minds of men. All the isms, people, are a religion. Masonry is a religion. Manly P. Hall said Masonry is a religion of symbols. If you know what the symbol means, you know what's going on. If you don't, you do stupid things like the vast majority of us out here in the mainstream. We consistently do stupid things to ensure our enslavement and tighten the chains tighter and tighter. Mind-boggling. And we have a good record of this going all the way back to, you guessed it, the Bible. Now, I mentioned the Communist Manifesto before. We've talked about a number of the 10 steps, the 10, get this, people, planks to communize a nation. Karl Mordecai Marx, remember? Let's look at that 10th plank one more time. Free education for all in government school. Yeah, there's an old saying, you get what you pay for. Because I've never met so many ignorant people in my life. They simply don't know. I didn't say they were stupid. I said they were ignorant. I'm ignorant on a vast number of subjects. But man, when it comes to how enslaved we are, when it comes to, who was that gentleman? Oh, come on, work with me, computer. You have just been a bitch today. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. Man, doesn't that just say everything in the land of the free and the home of the brave? You think that's what America has become? The land of the free and the home of the brave? Far from it, people. And it's getting worse. I told you it's getting worse. Okay, let's go. Wait a minute. I'll go here first. When I said I had to go to court, when I said a court is really a church, and I got to go back to church slant court on the 29th of July, it's even more than just church, people. It is a legal maze of, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand where these jurisdictions are coming from, you ain't getting it. They deal in a lot of uniform commercial code. They do a lot of stuff with, have you ever heard of this big word? Unidroit, UNIDROIT, Treaty of Rome. Yeah, the U.S. signed in on 1964. Something you might want to look into. because the New World Order, you're going to find out, is really the Old World Order. Courts deal in admiralty, maritime jurisdiction, law of the sea. We used to have a common law, law of the land. But some son of a bitch figured out a way to get us through contract to swindle out of our sovereign status and became riot tenure, debt servants, riot, R-Y-O-T. Another term I can't tell you about right now because I'm already at the 5-minute mark. You need to look up for yourself. You need to understand how these treaties have effed us and upped us bad, and how our sneaky masters get us to do our own destruction. All right, let's go to the book nobody likes, that I think is a fascinating book. Yep, the Holy Bible. I'm not a big fan of the King James. I use it because it's such a commonplace book, people. But let's go over here to Genesis 1, verse 27 and 28. Now, we're going to talk about, remember we're talking about courts. We're talking about Navy things, nautical things. We're talking about admiralty, law of the sea. You know, courts deal with more than just UCC and fake constitutional issues. You know, you tie a ship up to a dock, and when you go into court, you get a docket number. And do not courts deal in citizenship issues? Do courts not deal in trusteeship issues? I do not have enough time in this video to list all the nautical maritime terms that occur when you go to court. All right, so we're back in Genesis 1, verse, start with 27. Remember this one? So God created man in his own image, in the image of God created he him, male and female he created he them. Verse 28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth. Keep that replenish in mind, and subdue it, and have dominion. The Creator, who had it all, created a trusteeship contract with those men, male and female, that he created. Right there, the first trusteeship. Who had it to give? The Creator. Who received it? The men and the women. Yep. Now remember I said replenish? All right, let's go to Genesis 1 just as a side note. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. All right, replenish the earth. Now, better renderings of this would be, and the earth was null and void, without form. It was in a serious state of destruction, decay. It's almost like something once was, and it went to hell in a handbasket, and now this is a recreation of something that pre-existed. Don't take my word for it, people. Research it on your own. In fact, let's go over here. This is another interesting point. When you go to Genesis 2, come on, you son of a bitch. All right. See? You see why I didn't have a camera on today? You would see me struggling. All right, Genesis 2. Let's go down to verse 15. And Lord God took man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Looks like we have another trusteeship situation going on here, don't we? All right. Now, in Genesis 15 through 19, you're going to see what I mean. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And on that goes. He's creating the first ship's log. Remember Star Trek, people? Ship's log, stardate 2701.3 supplemental. Captain Kirk, remember? Ship's log. He's creating a log. He's logging inventory of all that the Creator has put him in trusteeship to. It's quite interesting that we have this. I won't bother you with reading it, but you can look to Genesis 25, verse 31 through 34, where Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. Yeah, and then read Paul in Romans 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Wonder why he hated Esau. They were brothers. They were twins in the womb. Did someone come along, did some serpentine critter come along and get mankind, not humankind, but mankind to null and void the trusteeship relationships that the Creator had with His creation? You think that's possible, people? You think contract law is doing it today? Because, after all, the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, really is a contract. And the New Testament, a testament is a contract, is really a contract also. I mean, you kind of getting the point here, how we have sold our birthright too? Have we sold our soul for rock and roll? Don't be too sure we haven't. I think what we're going to find out here, people, is the New World Order is really the Old World Order. And we'll cover that more in Part 3C. So, did I tell you about... see, I don't even know where I'm at here. In Proverbs 1:7 it says, the fear of the Creator is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. People, many walk the wide path, but not the narrow one. So, I think what we're looking at here is something goes back to when we were born. What happened when a notice of live birth converted into a birth certificate? And think about birth certificate, B-I-R-T-H, and contrast that with B-E-R-T-H, where you birth a ship. It's all tying into this admiralty law. You look at contracts, people. Look at your credit cards. All capital letters. When did you print your name in all capital letters? First grade? Remember those writing pads where you got to make the big letters and you had a little halfway mark where you could make the lowercase letters? I used to love to print in all capital letters. My teacher used to say, you do not print your name in all capital letters. You look stupid when you do that. Look at your court documents, people. Look at you as defendant or plaintiff. All capital letters. What does that mean? Is there a significance to that? So, what happened when our mothers, and God bless them, they did it to us. Till the age of majority, they created a trusteeship with the state and got that birth certificate. A certificate of the document is not the document. Let me give you a quick example real fast. I'm running out of time. When you purchase a new car and you're sitting at the dealership, look in that pile of papers of his right in front of you. Probably a little white half-sheet piece of paper called the Manufacturer's Statement of Origin. That goes to the state. The dealer sends it to the state, and the state sends you, or if you finance it, whoever holds the note, the certificate, title of motor vehicle. It's not the title, it's a certificate of a title. Big difference. Why does a state keep the manufacturer's statement of origin? Who owns your car? Whose plates are on your car, people? You think you have license plates so the state can help you find your vehicle if it gets stolen? You think $10,000 Rolex watches have license plates on them? No, there's so much more, but I don't have time to cover it here. Someone got us to countersign by the X. Look at those contracts you've signed with banks and financial lending institutions, people. They have little sticky arrows that point right to the X. That X, people, is a Masonic symbol. That X, people, means that document has already been signed. What they get you to do is not sign that contract, countersign it, so they can ultimately use it against you. You need to look into UNIDROIT also. You need to look at how the Uniform Commercial Code, how United Nations treaties govern us. The U.S. became a signatory to the UNIDROIT contract treaty with Rome in 1964, shortly after JFK decorated Dallas with his brain. So, something to think about. I'm running out of time here. This is going to be one of my longest videos. I will try to pick up and clean up some of the loose ends after I review this for the third time in my next video. I hope I didn't confuse too many of you. But anyway, I'm running out of time. Man, it is 10 minutes to 4. I got stuff to do. You guys enjoy the weather.